Hello and welcome back to Daily English Podcast, the place where words don't just teach you English, but remind you how strong, beautiful, and powerful you truly are. Let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up feeling like you're stuck in the same story, the same routine, the same thoughts? Maybe yesterday didn't go as planned. Maybe you've carried the same doubts, same fears, same pain from one day to the next. And yet, here you are. Listening, breathing, waking up to a brand new day. And that, my friend, means something. Because today is a new page. And the pen is in your hand. And what you write next is your move. Today's episode is inspired by one short sentence that changed my thinking. New day. New page, your move. 3 parts. 1 truth. Endless possibilities. Let's explore each one together, with real-life stories, practical tips, emotional reflections, and simple, powerful English. So sit back, take a deep breath. Let's turn the page together. Part 1. The power of a new day. Each morning, the sun rises, not just in the sky, but in you. And even when it's cloudy, the light is still there. Waiting. Ready. A new day means you get another chance. Not to be perfect, but to be present, to try again, to start small, to breathe deeper. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Raphael. He worked as a night guard at a small factory. Every morning when his shift ended, he sat alone at the bus stop. He looked tired, lonely, sometimes angry. One day, an old woman who sold breakfast nearby gave him a hot cup of tea, for free. He was surprised. She said, "Every day is a new day. You don't have to carry yesterday's weight." He nodded, took the tea, and the next morning, he smiled, just a little. That was his first move, not a big one, not loud, but real, because a new day isn't magic. It's choice. And it begins with small, quiet moves. So if you woke up today, even tired, even scared, you've already been given a gift. Now, what will you do with it? Maybe it's calling someone you miss. Maybe it's drinking water instead of skipping breakfast. Maybe it's writing one sentence in your journal. Whatever it is, it matters. Every sunrise is an invitation, and all you need to do is say yes. Part 2. Turning the page. There's a reason books have chapters. Even the best stories need breaks, pauses, a breath before a new beginning. Life is the same. You are not meant to stay stuck in one page forever. You are allowed to turn it. Turning the page doesn't mean forgetting what came before. It means choosing not to live in it anymore. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was a school teacher. For years, she loved her job. The laughter of the children, the joy of teaching, the feeling that she was making a difference. But slowly, the stress built up. Paperwork, long hours, a lack of appreciation. One night, after everyone had left, she sat alone in the classroom. The walls felt heavy, her heart even heavier. She looked at the whiteboard and whispered to herself, "Is this still the story I want to live?" The next day, Sarah didn't quit her job. But she did one thing. She joined a weekend art class, something she loved when she was young but had left behind. That small step? It gave her energy again. It reminded her of her identity, not just as a teacher, but as a person who creates, who feels, who matters. 6 months later, she started a blog about creative learning. A year later, she became a consultant, helping schools bring more joy into education. That transformation didn't happen all at once. It began with one decision, to turn the page. You see, the page of yesterday, it served its purpose. It taught you things. It held your tears and your laughter. But it's okay to turn it. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you alive. Maybe you've been stuck in guilt, in sadness, in comparison. Maybe you've held on to a version of yourself that no longer feels true. Today is the moment you get to say, I honor what was, but I choose what's next. And when you say that, even quietly, you've already made your move. Part 3. Making your move. Now we come to the moment of action, your move. This is where many people get stuck. We wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect feeling. But the truth is, you don't need perfect. You need brave. Making your move is not about having all the answers. It's about being willing to take the first step, even if you're still a little afraid. Let me introduce you to Min. Min worked in an office for 10 years. It paid well. It was safe. But every morning, he felt a quiet sadness, like something inside him was asleep. One day, while scrolling through his old photos, he found a picture from college, holding a guitar, laughing, surrounded by friends. That photo stirred something in him. Min didn't quit his job the next day. He didn't move to a new country or open a music school. He did one thing. He bought new guitar strings. He started playing again in the evenings, just 10 minutes, then 20. Then he began sharing songs online, not for fame, just for joy. 2 years later, Min still works in his office, but now also teaches music classes on weekends and plays at small cafes. His face shines when he talks about it. Why? Because he made his move. Not big, not loud, but real. Your move doesn't have to change your life in one day. It just has to begin it. Think about chess. You don't win the game in one move. But without that first piece moved forward, the game never begins. So what is your move? Is it speaking up for yourself? Is it applying for that course you've been scared to start? Is it waking up 30 minutes earlier to do something just for you? Don't wait for permission. Don't wait to be fearless. Move anyway. Even small steps create big momentum. Even slow moves create real change. You are not behind. You are right on time. And this moment can be the first sentence of your next chapter. All you have to do is make your move. Part 4. When you're afraid to start, let's be honest. New beginnings sound beautiful, but they're also scary. Because every new page comes with questions like, what if I fail again? What if it's too late? What if people laugh? What if I'm not enough? Fear loves to speak the loudest at the edge of change. But here's something powerful to remember. Fear shows up not because you're weak, but because you're growing. Let me tell you about Lena. Lena always dreamed of opening a bakery. Not a big one. Just a small place with warm bread, sweet tea, and her grandmother's cake recipes. But she was a single mother. Money was tight. She was afraid to risk what little she had. So she waited, and waited, and waited. One day, her daughter came home from school with a drawing. It showed Lena standing behind a bakery counter, smiling. She asked, "Is this your dream, Mama?" Lena cried that night, not because she was sad, but because she realized her dream never left her. It was just waiting for her to be brave. The next week, she didn't open a shop. She baked 2 cakes and sold them to neighbors. Then 5 more. Then she started a tiny online page. Now, she runs a home bakery that supports her family and makes her soul happy. She was still scared when she started. But she started anyway. Because the truth is, you can be afraid and still move. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's walking forward while fear follows behind you, but no longer leads. So if you're afraid to begin, here are a few gentle truths. You don't need to be ready, just willing. You don't need to be fast, just steady. You don't need to know the whole path. Just take the next step. Even the smallest light can guide you through the dark. And even if your hands shake, even if your voice trembles, even if your heart races, you can still begin. Today, if fear is holding your hand, tell it kindly, you can come with me. But you're not driving today. Because your move matters more than your fear. Let this be your beginning. Part 5. Every day is a new chance. Imagine this: a woman, 70 years old, walking into a nursery and buying her first tree. Not a flower. A tree. The shopkeeper asked, "Ma'am, do you know this tree takes 20 years to grow full size?" She smiled and said, "Then I better plant it today." That's the heart of this part of our story. It's never too late to begin, because every day is a new chance. You don't have to be young, rich, educated, or confident to start something meaningful. You just have to start. Let's talk about Asha. Asha lost her job during the pandemic. She had no savings, little support, and felt deeply lost. One morning, she woke up and whispered to herself, "I'm still here." She opened a notebook and wrote down 5 things she was grateful for. Just 5. It became her new morning routine. Not scrolling, not worrying, just writing 5 things. Then she started writing ideas, then a blog. Now she speaks to others who are rebuilding their lives after loss. One notebook, one morning, one choice. Your new chance doesn't need applause. It doesn't need an audience. It just needs you. So if you're breathing today, you are blessed with a new chance. Use it to say thank you. Use it to change one small habit. Use it to forgive someone. Use it to take care of yourself. Use it to simply be and grow. Because life is not one big moment. It's 1,000 tiny ones. And every single one is your move. Part 6. Finding direction. Again. Sometimes we stop not because we're lazy, but because we feel lost. We don't know what the next step should be. We don't know where the road is heading. We're just standing still. But here's something beautiful. Feeling lost is part of finding your way. Think of it like walking through a forest. You're not off track. You're just learning to listen to the trees, to the wind, to your breath again. Let me tell you about Amir. Amir was once a business owner. His company failed after a difficult year. He lost money, confidence, and even friends. For months, he stayed home, silent. People said, "He's doing nothing." But inside, Amir was doing everything. He was asking hard questions. Who am I now? What do I want that's not about status or money? What makes me feel alive again? One day, while cleaning his room, he found an old journal from his college years. Inside was a note he had written to himself. "You are a guide. You are here to help others navigate the dark." That one sentence brought tears to his eyes. Now, Amir works as a mentor for struggling young professionals. Not rich, not famous, but deeply fulfilled. Because he found his direction again, not by pushing, but by pausing. So if you're in a season of confusion, remember, silence isn't failure. Rest isn't quitting. Questions are doorways. You don't need a perfect map. You just need a compass. And your compass is built from truth. What makes you feel peace? What brings a spark of joy? What makes you feel useful, kind, connected? Follow that. Even if the steps are small, even if the road is foggy, you're not behind. You're not broken. You're just rerouting. And maybe, just maybe, this time, you'll end up somewhere even better. Part 7. Your move. Your rules. Here's the truth. Most people don't say out loud, you don't have to follow someone else's path. Your move? It can look however you want. It doesn't need to be shiny. It doesn't need to be popular. It only needs to be yours. Let me introduce you to Neela. Neela was a mother of 3 who had been a homemaker for over a decade. She often felt like she had no story of her own, just laundry, lunchboxes, and lessons. But inside, she had ideas. Deep, rich ones. She dreamed of writing, but thought, I'm not a writer. Who would care what I have to say? Still, she made a move. A tiny one. She started writing short reflections after the kids went to bed. At first, it was just for her. Then she posted one on a small blog, then another, then another. One night, she got a message. Thank you. I cried reading your words. It made me feel less alone. And in that moment, Neela realized her story wasn't small. It was sacred. She wasn't copying anyone else's journey. She was finally walking her own. And that's what your move should be. Not based on pressure. Not shaped by what others are doing, but rooted in your truth. Your move could be choosing peace instead of proving a point. Building a life offline while others chase likes. Moving to a quiet village when the world tells you to climb taller buildings. You are allowed to want something different. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to dream sideways, not upward, because success isn't always more. Sometimes it's less, but deeper. Sometimes your best move is not loud or fast or flashy. It's a whisper to your heart that says, this feels right. This feels like me. So don't let fear write your story. Don't let the noise decide your next step. This is your move. And these are your rules. Conclusion. The pen is in your hand, and now we come full circle. Back to where we began. New day, new page, your move. You've walked with me through stories of courage, quiet transformation, small steps, and deep truth. And I truly hope, that something inside you feels lighter now, because the pen is in your hand. And that is powerful. You don't need to wait for a new year, a new job, or a new version of yourself to begin. You only need this moment. Let's remember, every day is a new beginning. You are allowed to turn the page. Your move matters, no matter how small. Fear can walk beside you, but it doesn't get to lead. You can create a life based on your own rhythm, not others' noise. And today, yes, today, can be page 1. So here's my final invitation. Don't just listen to this message, live it. Breathe it in. Whisper it to yourself when the day feels heavy. Write your page with hope, with love, with presence, with truth. And always remember, you are the author. You are the artist. You are the storyteller of your life. So go ahead, pick up the pen. New day, new page, your move. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Until next time, this is the Daily English Podcast, where your words matter, your story matters, and your move begins now.